think that I stink, that's on me. I don't care. I blow here, I blow there. I smoke this shit everywhere. Welcome to another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News,
Bars.
sponsored by none other than Blue Guard, Cali Guard. Stop smoking spit. It's just that simple. Boski, and this is being presented to you none other by Serpo Jr.
Big J.
Further rescheduling of marijuana could lead to cascade of state-level changes. If the Drug Enforcement Agency rescheduled marijuana to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substance Act, experts say the change would not only have big implications for cannabis at the federal level, but could also cause serious of legal adjustments in states. As a result of the so-called trigger laws, most U.S. states would either automatically reschedule marijuana to follow a change in its federal status or would begin a process to reclassify the substance. The ripple effect could impact politics, criminal justice, and medical marijuana, among other issues. Broadly, states fall into one of three categories in terms of their response to federal rescheduling. And slightly more than half, a federal rescheduling change automatically triggers state level rescheduling. And others, federal rescheduling would initiate a process anchoring further action by the state legislator or a controlling state authority. And about 10 states don't directly tie their scheduling decisions to drug federal status. While marijuana rescheduling would not federally legalize access through current state level medical cannabis programs, it would free up research into the plant and have significant implications for the marijuana industry. Go ahead and reschedule it and get to it.
Man. Oh. Two top managers suspended at Cannabis Control Commissions. Two top managers at the state's Cannabis Control Commission were suspended this month, adding the turmoil surrounding the embattled agency, whose chair also is currently suspended. Damn, that's a lot of suspensions. Acting Executive Director Debbie Hilton Creek suspended Chief Communications Officer Cedric Sinclair and Director of Human Resources Justin Schrader on December 4th, according to two people with direct knowledge of direct knowledge of the events who are not authorized to speak publicly. The reason for the latest suspension have not been disclosed. A commission spokesperson declined to answer questions for this story, saying the agency does not comment on internal personal matters. The commission has a number of key positions vacant. A rift has developed between its staff and board, according to current and former employees. The disconnect is so extreme that the death of 27-year-old woman working at a cannabis facility in 2022 was not reported to the board for months. Now that's some bullshit though. When the rift within is fucking up things that's supposed to be happening and stuff, especially when it's involving the public. You
I
know what I
believe
mean?
that too, though, and it's like it's kind of crazy because they say it's like they the suspension is not what they don't got no direct reason.
Right,
What if they just probably just had a dirty drug test?
man. Crazy.
Get your shit
Oh
together.
man.
Thieves crashed car through front of a Bothell cannabis store for the third time in a month. They must got some good weed in that motherfucker,
Man,
boy.
man.
Edibles or something.
Something.
uh a Bothell cannabis store was hit with a crash and grab burglary for the third time in a month early Thursday morning. Officers arrived at the store within 5 minutes. Man, that's a cold little response time.
Mhm.
But by the time they arrived, the suspects had already left. There were 6 suspects, all wearing hoods and masks. The car used to break into the shop and the car the suspects left in are both believed to be stolen. The Have a Heart dispensary has posed in front of the store to keep crashing and grabs from happening. But the car was able to maneuver through them and at an angle to bust in the front. The store already had boarded up windows and a temporary doorway left over from a burglary in late November. There are there are multiple have a heart locations around Western Washington. 3 locations were burglarized within a span of 10 days last month.
That's some movie shit.
Like
man.
real talk. It sounded like I was low key reading a Tubi script.
Man, for
You know
real,
what I'm
for
saying?
real.
But
Like,
look at those posts though. How'd they get a car in between those posts like that?
Man,
Man.
them Urkels, you know them little Urkel
The
cars?
little car.
Man,
Yeah.
get through that motherfucker.
Maybe.
Man, did I do that? Oh man. City of Lakewood releases its proposed marijuana policy reforms. So I'm gonna go over a couple of them. Well, about
What
3
is
of
this,
them.
Lakewood, California?
Nuh-uh, Ohio.
Oh, there we go.
Lakewood, Ohio. Ordinance to decriminalize marijuana possession. The first ordinance aligns Lakewood's marijuana law with Ohio's recently passed Issue 2. The ordinance proposes the decriminalization of marijuana, allowing possession of up to 2.5 ounces, and reduces the penalty for misdemeanor level possession of marijuana. This move echoes the state law's provision and signals a shift towards more progressive cannabis policies, which is a good thing. So now we're going to talk about engaging the community. The Lakewood City Council is dedicated to ensuring these changes reflect community values and needs. Council is open to public input and discussion on these proposals. Residents are encouraged to participate in up and coming meetings and to stay informed through the city's communication channels. That's good though, you know what I'm saying, that they open it up to the public, you know what I mean, to have a say into how things are gonna go. So this is the last one that I'm going to talk about, a progressive step forward. The proposal represents a significant step forward in modernizing Lakewood's approach to cannabis by aligning with the state's laws, streamlining processes for dispensaries and revising zoning codes. Lakewood is positioning itself as a forward-thinking city that responds proactively to the evolving legal and social dynamic of cannabis use. Man, big shout out to Lakewood, Ohio, man. Keep up the good work, man, and keep progressing. Hopefully other states and cities and shit, you know what I mean, move that way.
Real talk. And don't quote me on it, but I believe it, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ohio is like the 24th state to like legalize it.
I think you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And for them to come out like with something like this, like what they like proposing to the public, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking great.
Very
It
progressive.
seems like they finna start being the trailblazers around this motherfucker.
For real.
Cannabis taxes have not solved Colorado's budget woes.
Mm.
That's kind of crazy because it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I just came from Colorado and it
Yeah.
seemed like they got some cool little buds and shit.
Yeah.
It don't seem like well, I'm gonna just say downtown Colorado where everything is at. It didn't look trashy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Go Broncos.
All right, cannabis taxes did not solve Colorado's budget woes. That was never promised or even implied by supporters of legalization. But some money is better than no money. From the earliest days of 2012 political campaign to legalize cannabis, there was a promise that a certain amount of tax revenue would go to schools. That was created, no, that has created confusion ever since about the role of marijuana in the school funding. A typical and frequent question to CPR news goes, how can schools need more tax money than cannabis businesses are making so much money? Let me read that again. How can schools need more tax money when cannabis businesses are making so much money?
Mm.
The short answer is marijuana tax collections are small compared to the state's education budget. Many businesses complain that the excise tax is too high, particularly for marijuana growers who grow and sell their own cannabis. In those cases, the state has to come up with the average market price for the marijuana so it can apply the 15% rate. Some businesses say that average is too high, said Gene Smith Gonwell, an attorney at the firm Troutman Pepper, who represents marijuana businesses. She said that often gets passed on to consumers. Also, no marijuana company can deduct business expenses because it's still federally illegal. And then policymakers are constantly looking to marijuana taxes to fund pet projects. The industry says there is a limit on how many taxes they can pay as the market slumps. When tax rates are so high, people are going out of business, Smith Gonwell said. And that's not a positive situation for Colorado businesses. It seems as if like the whole state trying to low key lean up on the OGs and the sativas and them hybrids that's around there, man. Y'all need to like,
Putting too much on them shoulders of them buds.
yeah, y'all
Man.
teachers and all that shit. Y'all really need to be teaching some real stuff in there.
Man.
But
real.
that's your
hard
weekly
ass
news.
words.
Circle Junior.
Big J.
Baby, baby.
Hard ass shit to yourself.